Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into a topic that, well, it underpins virtually every interaction, every relationship, every ambition in your life.
Yeah,
Our communication skills.
it really does. It's everywhere.
Think about it, whether you're trying to build trust with a new colleague or nurturing a lifelong friendship, maybe pitching an idea to your boss, or even just explaining your day to your family. It all hinges on how effectively you communicate. And we've all been there, haven't we? That moment you walk away from a conversation and this little voice pops up in your head, replaying what you should have said.
Oh, absolutely. The internal critic.
Exactly. Wishing you'd articulated your point with more clarity, maybe more conviction, or just, well, better. That feeling of your message not quite landing the way you intended, it's a frustration that's, I think, universally understood.
It's profoundly true. And what's often overlooked, I find, despite it being so common, is the sheer power communication wields. The way you speak, the way you listen, how you express your thoughts and feelings, it doesn't just convey information. It profoundly shapes whether people trust you.
Trust, that's huge.
It is. And whether they respect your perspective, and crucially, whether they feel, compelled to collaborate with you, it extends far beyond the words themselves.
Yeah, so this invisible layer.
Exactly. It's about the invisible currents of connection that flow, or sometimes fail to flow, between individuals. This isn't just about making small talk. It's really about forging genuine bonds and achieving shared understanding. It impacts everything, really, from your closest personal relationships to your most ambitious professional goals.
Absolutely. And that's precisely our mission with this deep dive today. This isn't just going to be a simple list of tips you could probably find anywhere online.
No, we want to go deeper.
Exactly. Instead, we're delivering a practical, actionable guide, carefully extracted from, well, a wealth of insights. We're going to walk you through 10 proven, powerful pathways to not just enhance, but truly transform your communication skills. We're talking about real-life scenarios, compelling stories you can instantly relate to, and tangible strategies you can begin integrating into your daily life. Like today.
Right away.
Think of it as unlocking a set of communication superpowers you already possess, just waiting to be honed and unleashed. Okay, let's dig into this a bit deeper.
And we really want to frame this as an exploration of profound shifts, not just surface-level adjustments or, quick fixes.
Right, not just tricks.
No, these aren't performance tricks. They represent fundamental changes in your approach to how you interact with the world. And when you apply them with consistency, their collective impact can compound, well, exponentially over time.
That compounding effect is key.
It really is. This leads to not just our goal today is for you to move beyond simply knowing what to do, to truly understanding the deeper why behind these methods, and maybe most importantly, how to integrate them seamlessly into your everyday life, making them feel like second nature.
Okay, so let's dive into our very first foundational pillar. And it's one that echoes, well, ancient wisdom. Listen more than you speak.
Ah, the classic. 2 ears, 1 mouth.
Exactly. That old adage, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, might sound a bit trite, maybe a cliche, but its truth is profound. The common pitfall, and honestly one we all succumb to at times,
Oh, definitely.
is listening to reply rather than listening to truly, deeply understand.
That distinction is critical.
I can recall this vivid example from a high-stakes team meeting I observed once. There was this colleague who seemed to constantly interrupt everyone.
We've all met that person.
Right. His modus operandi was to jump in, interject his opinion, often mid-sentence, clearly believing it made him appear sharp, decisive, maybe intelligent. He wanted to be the first one with the answer.
Yeah, dominate the conversation.
But the reality was, it had the opposite effect. It was corrosive. People visibly started to tune him out. You could see their shoulders slump, their gazes drift.
Disengagement.
Total disengagement. A quiet alienation began to simmer because they just felt unheard, disrespected.
Yeah.
Their ideas were getting stifled before they could even fully form. It was actually quite painful to watch.
That's such a powerful illustration because active listening, as you've just perfectly described it, isn't merely a polite gesture. It's not just passively waiting for your turn to talk.
No, it's active.
It is unequivocally a superpower. It's about rigorously gathering critical information, not just from the explicit words being spoken, but also from, the speaker's tone, their subtle shifts in body language.
And nonverbals.
Exactly. And perhaps most importantly, the underlying emotions that might not be directly stated but are clearly present. If we step back to see the bigger picture, Active listening is the bedrock. It's the foundation upon which all other effective communication skills are built.
The foundation.
It's that foundational current that underpins true rapport, deep understanding, and the ability to respond in a way that truly resonates, making the other person feel genuinely validated and seen. Without it, even the most eloquent words can just fall flat.
It's incredibly counterintuitive, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes speaking less paradoxically makes your words more impactful.
Absolutely. Less is often more.
The silence you allow, the space you create, by truly listening, it can amplify what you eventually contribute. And here's where it gets really interesting. That deliberate silence, it can often be louder, more potent than a whole torrent of words.
It carries weight.
It does. It makes your eventual contribution far more resonant and commanding. So to help you cultivate this, here's a tangible exercise you can try, like in your very next conversation.
Okay, practical steps. Good.
Consciously commit to not formulating your reply while the other person is talking. Instead, focus entirely, utterly on their words. Let their message, their emotion, their perspective truly sink in without interruption from your own internal monologue planning your comeback.
That's hard work, actually. It requires real focus.
It does. Then, when it's your turn to speak, begin by paraphrasing what you heard. You might start with phrases like, "So if I'm understanding correctly, what you're saying is..."
Right. Or
maybe, "It sounds like you're feeling mention the emotion because of mention the situation."
Right.
Is that right? This doesn't just show them you've heard the words. It demonstrates you really get it.
You're reflecting it back.
Exactly. It's like shining a spotlight on the other person, making them feel genuinely seen and heard. And that simple act, it elevates the relevance and impact of your actual reply tenfold.
The emotional intelligence aspect of this practice is just profound. When you paraphrase, you're engaging on multiple levels. You're clarifying the factual content, yes.
Checking the facts.
But you're also acknowledging their tone, picking up on their nonverbal cues, and crucially, validating the underlying emotion they might be conveying, even subtly.
That validation piece feels key.
It's huge. And this makes us consider, how does truly understanding another person's perspective, encompassing both their intellectual message and their emotional landscape, fundamentally shift the entire dynamic of a conversation?
Yeah. How does it change things?
Well, by doing this, you drastically minimize misunderstandings because you're explicitly confirming comprehension, to get that right.
Right. No guesswork.
And even more importantly, you foster deeper, more authentic connections built on mutual respect and genuine validation. It builds this robust bridge of trust because you've demonstrated that you genuinely value and absorb their input. It creates a safer space for open dialogue. It's a key ingredient in, well, emotional safety.
Emotional safety. I like that framing. Okay, our second pillar pivots to the silent narratives we all project. Master your body language.
The unspoken conversation.
Exactly. While words carry meaning, your body language is the silent soundtrack accompanying your speech. It either perfectly amplifies your message, adding weight and conviction, or quite often it entirely contradicts it, creating this jarring dissonance.
Yeah, that mismatch is so common.
And the statistics are staggering. Research suggests that over 70%, sometimes even higher, depending on the study of communication, is nonverbal. Just let that sink in for a moment.
It's astonishing, really.
It is. It's amazing how much we convey without uttering a single sound. Imagine, for instance, you're trying to deliver a heartfelt compliment to someone, maybe a sincere, "You did an incredible job on that project."
Okay.
But as you speak, your arms are crossed tightly across your chest. Your gaze is fixed somewhere over their shoulder, maybe looking at the clock.
Avoidant.
And your posture is closed off, rigid. That compliment, no matter how genuine the words feel to you, will simply fail to land well.
It won't connect.
No. The nonverbal signals are screaming a completely different message, maybe disinterest, defensiveness, or just discomfort, and people subconsciously, almost instantaneously, pick up on that fundamental contradiction. It leads to this unconscious sense of distrust.
That contradiction is indeed so vital, and it taps directly into the deep-seated psychology of nonverbal cues. Why are they so inherently powerful?
Good question.
Our brains are wired, almost primitively, to interpret these signals instantly and often subconsciously. We form immediate judgments about someone's sincerity, their confidence, their openness based on how they hold themselves, how they gesture, or where their eyes fall. What's fascinating here is the primal nature of these signals.
Primal. Interesting.
They likely predate spoken language in human evolution and are deeply ingrained in our collective perception of others. They serve as this immediate, visceral barometer for trustworthiness and underlying intent, as you put it so well earlier.
The movie soundtrack.
Exactly. It's like watching a compelling movie with the wrong soundtrack playing. The words might be telling one story, but the visual cues are narrating a completely different one. And our brains, in their ancient wisdom, tend to believe the visual narrative first and foremost.
That's the core of it. It creates this subtle yet powerful sense of unease or distrust, even if you can't quite put your finger on why. So, how do you ensure your internal state aligns seamlessly with your external presentation?
The million-dollar question.
Well, here's a simple trick, a technique I found incredibly useful before any important conversation, presentation, or even just a casual but meaningful chat. A quick posture reset.
Okay, tell us.
Just stand with your feet comfortably, shoulder width apart. Intentionally let your shoulders relax down your back. Really release any tension you might be holding there. And gently lift your chin, not defiantly, but with a sense of calm self-assurance.
Open and grounded.
Precisely. This subtle physical adjustment can instantly shift your internal feelings of confidence, and that confidence then powerfully manifests externally for everyone to perceive.
It's amazing how a shift in your body can shift your mind, and vice versa.
This simple physical adjustment truly holds immense power. And to elaborate on specific elements that reinforce your message, consider the impact of an open posture, uncrossed arms facing the person directly.
Welcoming.
And maintaining natural, engaged eye contact. That shows you're present without being overly intense or, staring them down.
Right, not creepy. Not creepy. Pay attention to gestures that naturally match your message, like using open hands when you're being transparent or maybe emphasizing a point. There's also the nuanced concept of mirroring.
Oh, yes, mirroring.
Where you subtly, almost imperceptibly, align aspects of your body language with the other person's. This can build profound rapport by signaling empathy and connection. But, and this is crucial caution against overdoing it.
Yeah, it can backfire.
Absolutely. It can quickly feel inauthentic or even manipulative if it's too obvious. Ultimately, connecting this to the bigger picture, mastering body language is about aligning your internal state, your intention, your confidence with your external presentation. It's ensuring your silent soundtrack consistently supports rather than undermines your spoken message.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Our third foundational pillar, closely intertwined with the first two, is think before you speak. The power of the pause.
Crucial. So crucial.
We have all been there, haven't we?
Yeah.
That moment you blurt something out in the heat of the moment, an impulsive retort, a hastily formed opinion, only to regret it deeply seconds or minutes later.
Oh, the foot in mouth moment.
It's a universal, regrettable experience. But here's the often misunderstood truth. Pausing before you speak doesn't make you slow or indecisive.
No, quite the opposite.
It makes you smart. It's a profound sign of intelligence, not hesitation. I vividly recall watching a seasoned leader in a particularly high-stakes meeting. He was asked a truly tough, pointed question, almost designed to provoke an immediate defensive reaction.
A pressure cooker situation.
Exactly. The room fell silent, everyone waiting with bated breath for his rapid-fire counter. Instead of rushing an answer, he simply paused. It was only about 3 to 5 seconds, maybe. But in that charged silence, it felt significantly longer. He just offered this slight, calm smile, visibly gathered his thoughts.
Composed.
And then responded thoughtfully, comprehensively, and with remarkable composure. That deliberate, almost unhurried pause. It made him look incredibly composed, genuinely thoughtful, and profoundly intelligent. It commanded instant respect.
That example perfectly encapsulates the strategic power of the pause. It granted him that crucial time for cognitive processing, allowing for emotional regulation, especially vital in a high-pressure scenario like that, and enabling truly strategic word choice.
Right. He chose his words carefully.
Exactly. And this makes us consider, how does a deliberate pause empower you to consciously choose your words, rather than letting your words impulsively choose you, particularly when emotions are running high or the stakes are elevated?
Yeah, taking back control.
Precisely. Neurologically, it provides a vital moment for your prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive decision-making center, to fully engage and override the more immediate, reactive impulses from the amygdala.
So it's brain science.
It absolutely is. And psychologically, it sends a powerful signal to your audience that you genuinely value their question, that your response will be carefully considered, and that you are in control, not merely reacting. This conveys gravitas and intentionality.
That's the essence of it. That seemingly small, brief pause conveyed immense control, deep consideration, and genuine wisdom, contrasting so sharply with how a rushed, impulsive answer might have been perceived.
Definitely.
And here's the real power of it, I think. That brief silence can command more respect and attention than any quick, thoughtless retort ever could.
It creates anticipation.
It does. So the next time you feel that almost irresistible urge to answer immediately, to fill the silence that descends, just take a conscious breath. Give yourself a moment, even just a second or two, to choose the right words, to meticulously formulate your thoughts.
Just breathe.
Your future self, the one who won't be replaying regrettable statements, and frankly, your current conversation partner, will absolutely thank you for that investment. Embrace that silence. Don't fear it. It's not empty space. It's an invaluable investment in clarity, precision, and profound impact. It allows your true intelligence to shine through.
And that investment pays substantial dividends, not just for you, but for the entire conversational dynamic. Consider the subtle yet profound art of the pause in, well, a myriad of contexts.
Like what?
In a heated debate, a pause can disarm an opponent, make them wait. In a delicate negotiation, it can signal strength or provide room for the other party to consider your offer. Or even in an emotionally charged personal discussion, it creates space for empathy, for reflection.
Different uses for different situations.
Exactly. A well-timed pause can be strategically used to emphasize a critical point, letting it sink in. It can allow the other person a moment to fully process what you've just said, or it can even subtly invite them to speak themselves, creating a more natural, balanced ebb and flow in the dialogue.
Instead of just talking at them.
Right. It can also simply create a reflective space, both for you and for your listener, allowing thoughts to settle. Ultimately, connecting this to the bigger picture, the pause is a fundamentally strategic tool for truly conscious communication. It allows for significantly greater intention behind your words and, consequently, leads to far less regret over what you've chosen to say. It actively transforms reactive communication into proactive, thoughtful, and impactful dialogue.
Okay, moving on to refining how we express ourselves and connect. Our fourth key pathway to communication mastery is expand your vocabulary.
The words we use.
Now, don't immediately think of a rich vocabulary as a means to sound pretentious or overly academic or just using unnecessarily complex words to impress people.
No, that's not the goal at all.
Instead, visualize it like having a vast, well-stocked, comprehensive toolbox. You wouldn't attempt to build an intricate, sturdy structure with only a hammer and a screwdriver, would you?
You'd be very limited.
Exactly. Similarly, having a limited vocabulary is like trying to express nuanced, complex ideas with only a handful of generic tools. The right word, precisely chosen, is like having that perfect specialized tool for a specific job. It allows for incredible precision, vividness, and clarity in your expression.
Finding the mot juste, as they say.
Precisely. The ultimate goal isn't to sound like a walking dictionary, but to possess enough variety and nuance in your word choices to make your ideas crystal clear, to paint vivid pictures with your words, and to articulate exactly what you mean, leaving, ideally, no room for misunderstanding.
That analogy of the toolbox is remarkably apt. And what's often overlooked about vocabulary expansion, I think, is its profound cognitive benefits.
How so?
Our ability to name things, to precisely articulate concepts, directly influences our ability to actually understand them. Expanding your vocabulary goes far beyond simply speaking impressively. It fundamentally enhances your thinking processes.
It makes you think better.
In a way, yes. It deepens your comprehension of complex ideas and significantly boosts your capacity to articulate the most nuanced concepts. There's this deeply interwoven connection between language and thought.
Language shapes thought.
It does. The more precise and diverse words you have at your disposal to describe something, the more deeply you can conceptualize it, differentiate it, explore that idea. Conversely, a limited vocabulary can, quite literally, limit your ability to fully process complex ideas or to discern subtle but crucial differences in meaning both in what you hear and what you try to convey.
It's true, there's a real joy of discovery, isn't there? When you find that perfect word, that exact fit for what you're trying to convey, it's like, a moment of pure clarity.
Yes,
All right.
That feeling of precision.
So how do you organically build this rich linguistic toolbox? One of the most effective and honestly enjoyable ways is simply to read a little every single day.
Reading is fundamental.
It doesn't have to be Jen's philosophical treatises either. It could be compelling articles online, engaging novels, even transcripts of powerful speeches. Just consistently expose yourself to new words within their natural context.
Context is key.
Absolutely. Another practical tip. Keep a running note, maybe on your phone or in a small notebook, for any interesting new words you encounter. And here's a crucial, actionable strategy for making new words actually stick.
Okay, let's hear it.
When you learn a new word, consciously try to use that new word in a complete sentence within 24 hours. That 24-hour rule is incredibly powerful for cementing it into your long-term memory through active recall.
Active recall, yes. Very effective.
To go a step further, maybe challenge yourself to find 3 different ways to use the word, or share it with a friend, explaining its meaning. It transforms that passive learning into active integration.
The 24-hour rule is indeed a fantastic strategy. It leverages principles like spaced repetition and active recall, which significantly strengthen those neural connections. It makes that new word much more accessible and fluid when you genuinely need it in conversation.
So it's ready when you need it.
Exactly. It's not just about passive absorption from reading, it's about active integration into your productive vocabulary. And connecting this to the bigger picture, a broader vocabulary isn't merely for impressing others with your speaking prowess or writing eloquence. It is fundamentally about expanding your cognitive capacity for both sophisticated thought and precise expression.
Thinking and expressing.
Which in turn leads to a much deeper understanding for both you and your audience. When you possess the right words, you gain the power to convey complex ideas with far greater clarity and nuance, ensuring your message is understood precisely as you intended, minimizing ambiguity and maximizing impact.
Nicely put. Okay, next up, our 5th pathway, and this one is truly foundational for successful interactions. Adapt to your audience.
Oh, this is critical. Absolutely critical.
This highlights the absolutely crucial, non-negotiable need to tailor your messages specifically to the person or people you're speaking with. It's the same core message, different delivery principle. That's the hallmark of truly effective communication.
Know your audience. It's rule number 1.
Picture this scenario, and I bet you can relate. Imagine trying to explain a highly complex technical process, like, I don't know, the intricacies of a new piece of software code.
Okay.
To your grandmother, using the exact same dense jargon and level of detail you would use for a seasoned software engineer.
Oh dear, that's not going to end well.
Right. Your grandmother, bless her heart, would be utterly lost in seconds, her eyes glazing over before you even got to the second sentence, likely nodding politely but internally completely disengaged.
Polite confusion.
Exactly. The consequences of not adapting your message are immediate, obvious, and often devastating. Confusion, disengagement, frustration, and ultimately a complete breakdown in communication. I've witnessed countless brilliant presentations where the speaker knew their material inside and out.
Technically proficient.
Totally. But they failed to connect because they didn't adjust their delivery, their examples, their pacing, or their tone to the specific audience right there in front of them. It's like speaking a different language, even when you're technically using the same words.
You've powerfully articulated such a critical point.
Yeah.
The psychology of audience adaptation demands understanding their existing knowledge baseline, their primary interests, what their immediate priorities are, maybe even their current emotional state.
So much to consider.
Effective communicators are truly master builders of common ground. They skillfully identify what the audience already understands, what genuinely resonates with them, and then they strategically bridge that gap to new information.
Building bridges.
And what's fascinating here, connecting back, is how empathy and active listening, those skills we just thoroughly explored, are absolutely crucial precursors to successful adaptation.
It all links together.
It really does. You simply cannot tailor your message effectively if you haven't first understood who you're speaking to, what their current worldview is, and what their needs are. This deep understanding then meticulously guides your choice of analogies, your level of technical detail, your tone of voice, your pacing, even the specific types of questions you might ask.
Exactly. So before you even open your mouth to explain something or pitch an idea or share a story, take a conscious moment and ask yourself this magic question.
Okay, the magic question.
Who exactly is my audience right now? What truly matters to them in this moment? What are their pain points, their aspirations, their current knowledge level? And critically, how can I connect with them precisely where they are, not where I am?
Meeting them where they are. Powerful.
If I'm giving a motivating talk to a group of university students, for instance, I'll lean heavily on relatable personal stories, maybe a touch of self-deprecating humor, accessible analogies to make complex ideas digestible and inspiring.
Right, connecting on their level.
But if I'm presenting financial projections to a room full of senior executives, I'll strip away the anecdotes, get straight to the concise, result-focused bottom line using data and clear implications. It's the same core message, often the same underlying information, but the delivery is completely transformed, perfectly tailored for maximum impact on that specific targeted audience.
And the practical implications of this extend across an astonishing variety of contexts. Consider explaining a new company-wide policy to different departments. HR might need to understand the legal ramifications, engineering the implementation challenges, sales the customer impact. Each requires a distinct emphasis and frame.
Different angles.
It's profoundly crucial when you're communicating with children, where simplicity, vivid language, visual aids are paramount. Even in written communication, crafting an email to different stakeholders or composing a social media post for a diverse audience, you absolutely need to consider their expectations, their attention span, their preferred mode of consumption.
Email tone is huge.
It really is. And this makes us consider, how does consistently adapting your communication not only guarantee understanding, but also actively build immense rapport and deep trust?
How does it build trust?
It demonstrates a profound respect for the listener's unique perspective. It signals that you've invested the effort to meet them precisely where they are, which significantly boosts their receptivity and willingness to engage with your message. It's a powerful act of consideration.
Our sixth pathway, and arguably the most vital for forging truly genuine, enduring connections, is to practice empathy.
The heart of it all, really.
We define empathy as the profound ability to genuinely put yourself in someone else's shoes, to understand their feelings, their perspective, their underlying experience, even if you don't necessarily agree with their reasoning or their conclusions.
Understanding, not necessarily agreeing, key distinction.
This isn't just a soft skill, it is, without a doubt, the heart of great communication. When people feel truly understood, deeply heard, and genuinely seen in their struggles or triumphs, they become incredibly more receptive to whatever you have to say.
They open up.
Yes, even if it's difficult news or a differing opinion. It's the foundational element for building trust, fostering open dialogue, and navigating conflict constructively. I remember a particularly powerful statement from a dear friend during an intensely challenging period in her life. I, like many of us, immediately jumped into problem-solving mode, trying to offer solutions to fix her problem, telling her what she should do.
The fix-it reflex. Very common.
She gently but firmly stopped me and said, "I don't need you to fix my problem. I just need you to understand how I feel."
Wow. That's powerful.
It hit me profoundly. It was a searing insight into a common, well-intentioned trap many of us fall into. We rush to provide answers, bypassing the crucial non-negotiable step of simply acknowledging and validating emotions first.
That example perfectly and eloquently differentiates empathy from mere sympathy or that impulse to solve. Sympathy is feeling pity or sorrow for someone.
Feeling sorry for them.
Right. Empathy, in its true form, is feeling with them, or at the very least, understanding how they feel from their perspective. The role of emotional intelligence here is paramount.
EQ.
It's about being acutely attuned to and able to identify, acknowledge, and even maybe name the emotions you perceive in others. When you acknowledge emotions, even if you don't agree with the reasoning behind them, you instantly de-escalate tension.
Lowers the temperature.
Exactly. And crucially, you open vital pathways for truly constructive dialogue. Connecting this to the bigger picture, empathy transforms a purely transactional exchange into a true, meaningful human interaction. It creates a safe, inviting space for vulnerability, authentic expression, and ultimately deeper connection. It's about consciously holding space for another person's emotional reality.
Holding space. I like that. That's precisely why it's such a common trap, isn't it? Our innate desire is to help, to fix things, to alleviate suffering.
It comes from a good place, usually.
But sometimes, as you said, the most powerful thing you can communicate is nothing at all, except to acknowledge what they're feeling, what they're experiencing. And here's a powerful realization. Sometimes, just acknowledging someone's emotional state, truly seeing their pain or frustration, is infinitely more impactful and comforting than offering 1,000 solutions.
Presence over problem solving sometimes.
Yes. So the next time you're in a conversation, especially one where someone is expressing distress, disappointment, or even genuine excitement, try introducing this simple yet incredibly powerful phrase.
Okay.
I can absolutely see why you feel that way. Or It makes complete sense that you'd be frustrated by that situation. That one sentence, delivered with genuine presence, can instantly build trust.
Validation.
Because it profoundly shows you're not just listening to their words, but you genuinely care about their internal experience, their emotional landscape.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly encourage you to try this phrase in your very next meaningful conversation. You'll be genuinely amazed, I think, at its immediate transformative impact on the dynamic.
This is all about validating someone's feelings. And crucially, even if you hold a different perspective on the situation or the facts, you can always validate the emotion they're experiencing.
Always find the feeling.
Yes. And this makes us consider, how does validating someone's feelings, even when you might not agree with their overall perspective, create a fundamentally safer environment for truly open and honest communication?
How does it create safety?
It effectively disarms defensiveness, it lowers emotional barriers, and it actively encourages them to share more openly and deeply. And this raises an even more important question. How does empathy, even in highly professional, data-driven, or intense negotiation settings, ultimately lead to far better, more sustainable problem solving?
Right. Does empathy work in the boardroom?
Absolutely. By deliberately addressing the core human element, first the feelings, the emotional resonance, you systematically clear away the emotional clutter. This allows both parties to then move on to more logical reasoning, objective facts, and finding collaborative solutions with far greater clarity, understanding, and trust. It ensures the true underlying human need is addressed before moving to superficial solutions.
Okay, let's transition now into cultivating habits for continuous communication improvement, starting with our 7th pathway. Cut the filler words.
The ums and ahs.
We all do it, don't we? Those seemingly innocuous little verbal crutches, the so that starts every sentence.
They just sneak in.
They sneak into our speech almost subconsciously, becoming ingrained habits. And while they might feel like harmless placeholders, they actually, they profoundly undermine your confidence, diminish your clarity, and weaken your authority.
They dilute the message.
They do. They make you sound less certain, less prepared, and often less authoritative than you truly are. It's a genuinely hard habit to break, I know, because it feels so natural, like a linguistic ticket. But the payoff is absolutely significant. Let's unpack this a bit.
Yeah, how does it really impact perception?
Imagine a beautifully designed, minimalist room where every piece of furniture serves a purpose and stands out. Now imagine that same room cluttered with random boxes, old newspapers, forgotten items.
Okay, visual clutter.
Your core message is that exquisite furniture, and filler words are the verbal clutter that distracts from its elegance and impact.
That's a great analogy, verbal clutter. The psychological impact of filler words is indeed quite noteworthy and often underestimated. They can subtly signal uncertainty, maybe a lack of preparation, or even a struggle to articulate one's thoughts clearly and decisively.
Makes you sound like you don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And this contrasts sharply with the authority, the intentionality, and the quiet confidence conveyed by brief, deliberate pauses, which we discussed earlier as such a powerful tool. What's fascinating here is how silence, when used intentionally and strategically, can add immense gravitas and weight to your entire message.
Silence is powerful.
When you consciously eliminate those pervasive fillers, you're not just sounding more polished or articulate, you are actively projecting a far greater sense of confidence, conviction, and intellectual command, allowing your true ideas to stand out unadulterated.
So how do you actively begin to fix this deeply ingrained habit? Awareness is always the crucial first step.
You have to notice it first.
Right. Here's an actionable fix you can implement immediately. Try recording yourself speaking. Just use your phone's voice recorder for 5 to 10 minutes, maybe while you're explaining something to a friend, or even just narrating your day to yourself. Then, critically, play it back.
The dreaded playback.
It can be painful, but you'll quickly hear exactly where those fillers consistently pop up in your speech patterns. Once you're acutely aware, the next step is to consciously, deliberately replace them with a brief, intentional pause instead.
Swap the filler for a pause.
Yes. And I promise you, it might feel a little awkward at first. You might even feel like you're pausing for an uncomfortably long time. But trust me, with consistent practice, it gets dramatically easier, more natural, and more powerful.
It becomes a new habit.
That silence, as you rightly pointed out, truly adds undeniable weight to your words. It gives your listener valuable time to absorb and process what you're saying, and it makes you sound infinitely more thoughtful, composed, and in control.
And this commitment to replacing fillers with pauses truly unlocks the concept of eloquent pauses. Master speakers don't just avoid fillers, they strategically employ silence. They use it to build suspense, maybe allow their audience a moment for contemplation, or to emphasize a truly critical point, letting it hang in the air for maximum impact. Think of the impeccable timing of a seasoned comedian delivering a punchline.
Comedic timing.
Or the captivating rhythm of a compelling storyteller. Connecting this to the bigger picture, removing filler words isn't merely about sounding better or more confident on the surface. It is fundamentally about gaining precise, intentional control over your entire speech rhythm.
Controlling the rhythm.
And crucially, enhancing the listener's unwavering focus squarely on your core, unadulterated message. It empowers you to deliver your ideas with far greater precision, clarity, and overall impact, ensuring every single word you utter genuinely counts.
Make every word count. Love that. Our eighth pathway is a dynamic one that breathes life into any conversation. Ask more questions.
The engine of conversation.
Conversations, especially those that become one-sided monologues, tend to die a quick, agonizing death. Questions, particularly open-ended ones, are the very lifeblood that keeps them vibrant, engaging, and continuously moving forward.
Keeps the ball rolling.
They signal genuine interest, they invite deeper thought, and they actively encourage authentic interaction. Think about the stark difference between these two seemingly similar questions.
Okay.
Did you like the movie? Versus, what was your favorite part of the movie, and why did that particular scene or character resonate so deeply with you?
Big difference. Closed versus open.
Huge difference. The first question, the closed-ended one, almost invariably elicits a simple one-word yes or no, often leading to a conversational dead end. Awkward silence.
Yep, conversation killer.
The second one, however, precisely crafted to be open-ended, throws open the doors to richer, more elaborate answers, much deeper insights, and consequently a far more engaging and meaningful dialogue.
It invites a story, not just an answer.
Exactly. It invites sharing.
This contrast powerfully highlights the strategic value of open-ended questions. And we can delve into various types of questions, each serving a distinct purpose. There are clarifying questions to ensure mutual understanding.
Like, what do you mean by that?
Precisely. There are probing questions that dig beneath the surface. What underlying assumptions are we making here? Or even hypothetical questions that encourage imaginative thinking and problem solving. If resources weren't an issue, how might we approach this differently?
Opens up possibilities.
Consider the profound impact of the Socratic method, for instance, which uses a relentless series of questions to stimulate critical thinking, challenge assumptions, and uncover entirely new ideas. Asking questions is, in itself, a powerful and often overlooked form of active listening.
Questioning as listening.
It visibly demonstrates genuine curiosity and profound respect for the other person's perspective. It signals that you value their contribution beyond mere information retrieval. What's fascinating here is how effective questioning isn't just about gathering data. It dynamically guides the conversation forward, allowing both parties to explore a topic more thoroughly, often uncovering unexpected insights along the way.
Exactly. It's about making that crucial shift from questions that elicit closed-off, brief answers to those that encourage expansive, thoughtful responses. You're not just extracting information.
No, it's more than that.
You're inviting the other person into a shared exploration, actively unlocking a whole new level of connection and mutual discovery. So an actionable strategy here is to consciously make an effort to phrase your question starting with how, why, or what.
The openers.
Those are the magic words. They almost automatically foster deeper connections and consistently lead to more elaborate, more thoughtful, and more revealing answers. Try integrating this into your casual conversations first, maybe with a friend over coffee or a family member at dinner, asking, "What's one thing that really surprised you today and why?"
Practice in low-stakes situations.
It will quickly build the muscle memory and habit of asking more insightful, conversation-generating questions in all areas of your life.
And the benefits of asking more and better questions extend far beyond just the immediate information gathering. It profoundly shows genuine interest in the other person's thoughts, their experiences, their unique worldview.
Shows you care.
It actively encourages them to engage in critical thinking themselves, pushing them beyond superficial responses. And it often helps to uncover crucial underlying needs, unspoken motivations, or unaddressed concerns that might otherwise remain entirely hidden.
Gets to the real stuff.
It does. And this makes us consider, how can strategic, well-placed questioning move a conversation from superficial, transactional exchanges to truly meaningful interactions, and ultimately to far more effective and collaborative problem-solving? By meticulously peeling back the layers of a situation with thoughtful, open questions, you gain a richer, more comprehensive understanding of the entire dynamic, which is absolutely essential for any successful collaborative effort or deep connection.
Our ninth pathway for boosting your communication prowess, and this one has a remarkable ripple effect across all your interactions, is to practice public speaking.
Ah, the one that often evokes fear.
Right. Now, before you panic and picture yourself on a giant stage delivering a monumental TED Talk to thousands, let's broaden that definition significantly.
Okay, good. Because that's terrifying for most people.
Exactly. Public speaking isn't exclusively for politicians, professional motivational speakers, or stage performers. It is a fundamental life skill that, when honed, profoundly elevates all aspects of your communication.
All aspects. How so?
Your clarity of thought, your unwavering confidence, and your overall presence in any interaction. Think about it. Leading a critical team meeting, explaining a complex new concept to a colleague,
Presenting to a client.
giving a persuasive presentation to a client, or even simply delivering a heartfelt toast at a friend's wedding. These are all forms of public speaking, just with smaller, more intimate audiences.
Reframing it helps.
And while they can certainly feel daunting, the rewards in terms of dramatically improved overall communication skills are immense and far-reaching.
That's absolutely right. There's a powerful multiplier effect at play here. The critical skills you rigorously hone in the crucible of public speaking, like structuring your thoughts logically and coherently,
Getting your points in order.
managing your nervous energy, projecting your voice with clarity and authority, maintaining appropriate eye contact with a group, engaging your audience, these translate directly and seamlessly into more effective one-on-one conversations, team discussions, even casual chat.
The skills transfer.
They absolutely do. Practicing public speaking actually helps to physically retrain your physiological responses to stressful speaking situations, building remarkable resilience and calm under pressure. What's fascinating here is how directly confronting and mastering a fear, such as public speaking, can lead to broad, systemic improvements across your entire communication repertoire. It empowers you in virtually every single verbal interaction you undertake. It transforms you from reactive to proactive, even in everyday moments.
So how do you get started on this journey without, having to book out a stadium or join Toastmasters right away?
Baby steps.
Exactly. The absolute key is consistent practice, and you can start incredibly small with very low stakes. Try simply reading a captivating story aloud to a friend or family member. Just get comfortable with the sound of your own voice, its rhythm, projecting it with intention.
Just hearing yourself speak.
Volunteer to explain a complex concept to a small group at work or school during a casual meeting. Or, a really fantastic, accessible one, is to record short videos of yourself explaining something you're genuinely passionate about.
Your phone camera is your friend.
A hobby, a recent news story, a new idea, and then critically, watch them back. Identify areas for improvement. The more you consciously do it, even in these small ways, the more natural it feels, the more comfortable you become, and the more that underlying confidence builds, solidifying your voice.
And when you're engaged in this practice, there are specific, actionable elements you can focus on that will maximize your improvement. Work meticulously on the clarity of your thought. Can you convey your main points succinctly and unambiguously?
Be clear.
Pay close attention to your pacing. Are you rushing? Or are you strategically allowing those eloquent pauses to land and punctuate your message? Experiment with vocal variety consciously, using changes in pitch, volume, and tone to maintain engagement and emphasize key words.
Don't be monotone.
Exactly. And always remember to actively engage your audience, even if it's just the camera lens, by imagining the person on the other side. Connecting this to the bigger picture, practicing public speaking isn't merely about putting on a performance for an external audience. It's profoundly about building deep comfort and robust competence in expressing your thoughts clearly and confidently under pressure.
Comfort under pressure.
Which is an invaluable asset in any communication scenario imaginable, whether it's a critical board meeting, a challenging client pitch, or simply a casual but meaningful chat with a loved one.
Finally, our 10th pathway, and perhaps the most important for sustained growth and true mastery. Get feedback and keep improving.
The lifelong learning piece.
Communication is not a finite destination. It is an ongoing, dynamic, continuous journey. You never truly arrive at perfect communication.
Perfection is impossible anyway.
Exactly, because there is always room to grow, to refine, to evolve. Even the best speakers in the world, the ones you admire, the ones who captivate audiences and inspire millions, are constantly seeking ways to improve, adapt, become even more impactful.
You have coaches, they practice.
They understand that mastery is not a static achievement, but an ongoing, iterative process of learning and refinement. Normalizing the idea that improvement is a perpetual, exciting process rather than a one-time fix is absolutely essential for true growth.
This point powerfully emphasizes the critical importance of cultivating a profound growth mindset. What's fascinating here is how fundamental humility and an unwavering openness to learning are for achieving true communication excellence.
Humility is key.
Constructive criticism, even if it might sting a little initially or feel uncomfortable to hear.
Nobody likes criticism.
Right, but it is an absolutely essential component of genuine mastery. It provides invaluable insights into your communication blind spots, things you simply cannot perceive from your own internal perspective.
Things you don't realize you're doing.
Exactly, and it offers tangible, actionable areas for development that you might not otherwise identify on your own. It's not about striving for an unattainable perfection. It's about committing to a perpetual journey of becoming perpetually better, more connected, and more impactful.
So, how do you consciously solicit this vital feedback without feeling, completely vulnerable or exposed?
Yeah, how do you ask?
An actionable strategy is to simply ask a trusted friend, a respected mentor, or even a close colleague. A direct, open-ended question like, what's one thing you've noticed I could do to communicate more effectively?
Simple and direct.
Or, was there anything unclear in how I explained that concept just now? Be genuinely open to their feedback. See every piece of advice, every constructive comment, not as a criticism of your inherent ability or worth, but rather as a priceless stepping stone.
A gift, really.
It's a personalized outwrap for where you can next focus your efforts for maximum impact and growth. You might even consider asking for very specific feedback. When I was talking about X, what was my body language communicating?
Specificity helps. And just as important, perhaps even more so than asking for feedback, is learning how to receive it effectively and gracefully.
Receiving it well. That's hard too.
It is. This means actively listening to their input without immediately defending your actions, intentions, or explanations. That defensive reflex is strong.
Oh yeah, the urge to say but.
Exactly. It means asking clarifying questions if you don't fully understand their point or need more specific examples. And then taking the crucial time to reflect deeply on the input, truly considering how you might thoughtfully integrate it into your evolving communication style.
Let it sink in.
We might even suggest the profound idea of a communication audit, regularly and systematically assessing your own communication habits and actively seeking input from those around you across various contexts. This makes us consider, how does consciously and consistently seeking feedback transform communication from a mere, often unconscious, act into a deliberate, evolving, and highly refined craft?
From habit to craft.
It elevates it from an unconscious habit to a practiced, impactful art form, ensuring you're always refining your ability to connect more profoundly, authentically, and effectively. Hashtag tag outro nut.
So let's bring this incredible deep dive to a close. We've journeyed together through 10 incredibly powerful pathways designed to unlock your inherent communication superpowers.
Quite a journey.
Remember them and consider how each one builds upon the last. Listen actively, truly listening to understand beyond just the words. Master your body language, ensuring your silent soundtrack aligns perfectly with your spoken message. Think before you speak, embracing the profound power of the thoughtful, deliberate pause. Expand your vocabulary, giving you unparalleled precision and vividness. Adapt to your audience, meticulously tailoring your message. Practice empathy, connecting deeply on an emotional level first.
The heart connection.
Cut the filler words, adding weight and authority through purposeful silence. Ask more open-ended questions, fueling richer conversations. Practice public speaking, building confidence that permeates everything. And finally, get feedback and keep improving. Recognizing communication is a continuous, exhilarating journey.
These 10 pathways, when consciously combined and consistently practiced, are not about fundamentally changing who you are as an individual.
That's important.
Rather, they are about empowering you to express the authentic you in ways that truly resonate, connect deeply with others, inspire genuine trust, and cultivate far more meaningful and productive relationships across every facet of your life.
Expressing your best self.
These are not just isolated skills you occasionally apply, they are profound habits that, through consistent effort, will integrate into your very being, becoming an intrinsic, natural, and powerful part of how you fluidly interact with the world around you.
That's the true beauty and liberating power of it all.
No?
And you absolutely don't have to tackle all 10 at once, feeling overwhelmed.
No, please don't.
Choose just 1 or 2 tips that resonated most deeply with you today, the ones that sparked a genuine aha moment, and commit to intentionally practicing them this week in your daily interactions. Start small, be patient, be consistent.
Consistency is key.
The cumulative effect of these small, consistent changes you make now will compound exponentially over time, leading to massive, truly transformative improvements in your communication confidence, your clarity, and your overall impact. It's a journey of continuous, rewarding growth.
And here's a final, perhaps provocative thought for you to carry forward as you integrate these insights. Improving your communication skills isn't ultimately just about being heard more clearly or even about winning an argument or advancing your career.
What's it really about then?
At its very core, it's about learning to truly see and understand others, to genuinely step into their world and grasp their perspective. This fundamental shift profoundly changes your entire relationship with the world around you, opening up new dimensions of connection and possibility.
Seeing and understanding.
So this makes us consider if effective, empathetic communication is indeed the essential, sturdy bridge between minds, connecting ideas, shared experiences, deep feelings, true intentions. What new, incredible connections and what boundless possibilities can you now build in your life by consciously strengthening your side of that bridge? Keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep building.